It's Friday. Hurrah, 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 hurrah. Peace also, who's here. He was our guest here for Artist of the Week.
Hello.
Hello. Are you looking forward to Friday?
I'm always looking forward to Friday. It's actually when I do the most work, but still, yeah, it's cool.
Okay, all right. Well,
I've got like a reverse schedule, so...
Oh, it's all right for some. Do you know, I don't know. We've moved more. You've been our Artist of the Week.
Yes,
it's
I
great
have.
that you have. Now, there's two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
First of all, we've talked before that you are a filmmaker, that you're a video maker, that you basically a film producer. You're also a poet, and many of the other things to get time to do. But also, you're here on Calon FM.
I am here on Calon FM. This is true, actually. I have a show called Home is Where the Art Is.
So tell me, what is Home is Where the Art Is? What's it about?
So you've never listened, Wayne? That's
No, never listened once.
So the idea was actually, it came about as the same reason that a local project called Have You Today recently came about, which is a positive newspaper run online by Natasha Borton. And she's currently asking people to submit your smile. So it's essentially a newspaper focusing on purely positive stories for a change, which was how Home is Where the Art Is came about, really, as the same way. Because Wrexham was getting a lot of sort of negative coverage in the press. People, even on the street, were being quite negative about us.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous. I mean, like, even just this week gone now for Week of the Artist, we've talked about Spitbucket and the Larynx. We've talked about the Java Jam sessions. We've talked about filmmakers who are winning awards, not just in this country, but over in America at the moment. We're talking about some incredible movements that are happening through the VoiceBox community, through Focus Wales, through Rexfest. And it was just insane to me that we, for some reason, are not celebrating this, and instead people are focusing on, yes, issues that are there, but they're, one, not as big as people are making them out, and they're two, they're not the embodiment of Wrexham in the slightest.
Yeah.
There's incredible talent here, and so Home is Where the Art Is was essentially a show where we have a featured guest or guests each week who are doing something either artistic or innovative within the Wrexham community.
What've been your previous guests so far, then?
We've had some great guests so far, actually. So we've had... our most recent guests, we had Brendan Griffiths, obviously, who's been organising Rexfest and also a hand in Focus Wales. We've had Tom Griffiths and... No relation. We've had Tom Griffiths and Rob McLean, both filmmakers we've talked about this week who are currently winning awards, doing great on the festival circuit. We've had 52 Blue. We've had Cara Hammond, who's currently soaring up in the Paris pop charts, because that's what people do.
Absolutely, I do that all the time.
Yeah, look out for Wayne's new track, Despacito. We've also had Despacito. We've also had the incredible David Sabaki, obviously a very renowned poet, and yeah, it's been a great selection of guests so far, and I think we've learned a lot from them, and we've had good feedback from people saying that it's given them a bit of an insight into, I think, one, how much work goes into putting all this stuff on.
Yeah,
and
agree.
two, just how important it is for the community. So I think there's been this weird division between, this is sort of the other point of the show, there's been this weird division between this idea that arts and business are separate.
And they're not.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing a big change with that. I mean, recently Wrexham Ice have come to town.
Yes.
And they've set up base within Enegi, and the idea is to generate jobs and jumpstart small businesses and ideas. And sort of, I think they were Caerphilly, they managed to get about 200 jobs in the end of their sort of 3-year tenure there.
That's still carrying on, but it is 3 years.
Their initial
Yes, and they've obviously been dealing with people carefully.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
Wow. Captain Punwash is
no,
back.
but it's true, yes. But Gareth and Mandy, with the people which are behind Welsh Ice, they do seem to recognise that the whole point that innovation is the way forward in what they do. And so the idea is the most people, innovative people, are artistic. They like to express themselves. And so it makes absolute sense that the reason that where they're getting themselves fixed and getting them sorted out for a base here in North Wales, which is going to be Wrexham, that they should be in an art space, a community-run art space.
I think so. And I think you're right in this idea that artists are innovative and people don't always see the connection that, artists and festivals, you still have to book hotel rooms for them to sleep in. We still eat food. We're not some sort of alien race as artists.
Yes. No.
I mean, we use all the same business as everyone else does. I mean, it was proven just at the start of this month with Bank Street Coffee and King Street Coffee put on Neil Hilborn in Indegeen. You could look at them and go, well, they're primarily a coffee shop. They're a straightforward business, to put it into some sort of weird bracket. But instead, they realized that bringing this renowned poet into the town, sold 150 tickets, packed out Indegin, great turnout, great show, and that's money back into the business for the community. You know, these things go together, and I think that's what Welsh Ice are trying to push and doing very well, I think, from our initial sort of dealings with them so far.
It is. It's something I'm certainly. I'm really looking forward to. You could be cynical from a business point of view, whatever, but the way they're doing everything is very artistic, and that's got to be our future of
I think so.
Of making things,
Well,
which is what Wrexham's always been good at.
It's the same thing with the Arts Hub. You know, there's obviously people on both sides of that argument, and neither one is right or wrong. But the idea of the Arts Hub and what they're trying to do is exactly what we should be doing in terms of finding ways to make a bridge between the changing times we're living in and the old values that we still have that made the town what it was when it was at its peak, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? I think no one needs to get left behind or alienated. There's room for everyone. And I think we're proving that with things like VoiceBox, but like Welsh Ice, like all the groups and these filmmakers you're seeing coming through at the moment. And it's going to be exciting times, I think, see where we're at in the next year.
Okay. Yes, I couldn't agree more. And it's good that home is where the art will be most definitely part of the action.
Home is where the art is. So
exactly.
And I think that's a nice segue to our last track of the week.
It is. You've got it in one.
Because in terms of homegrown artists, no one's impressed me with his progress quite as much as Dave Acton has. He set up the Larynx Collective and Spitbucket itself. And I think you'll agree, in the 3 years that he's been doing hip-hop, he's come on as one of the most impressive lyricists I've ever come across. And he's really taking charge and taking the Larynx to interesting and exciting places. So this is a track from his debut EP, which I produced and shot a music video on. You can find that on Pete Productions' Way Too Far. You can find Dave Acton's EP, The Draft, via SoundCloud, Bandcamp, and Facebook. And this is a song called Seed. Do enjoy.
Here we go. Thank you again.
Thank you.